Hi folks, welcome to this episode of 65 and Counting. Today we're reading the American Retirement Advisor newsletter for November 2021. It's volume 21, issue 11. Now on the front page we have our usual article by David P. Schaefer. Home of the Free and the Brave. I started our company over 20 years ago out of the trunk of my car, and I drove the tires off that car every 6 months. Yes, I did house calls back in the early days and could only help 5 or 6 folks on a good day. We struggled. There were days where the cost of marketing and my only employee exceeded my commissions, but I knew people needed my help, so the challenges only drove me to keep going. I strived above all to provide excellent services and add value to every person that was kind enough to let me help. I lead on that very promise to this day. You see, I regard it as a privilege to aid others and solve their challenges, a privilege I am grateful for. I knew it would take time to grow the business when I first started, but I never asked for a handout or relied on others to pay my way. I just didn't. I was raised to be self-reliant. Our little company grew as we added people with great talents. Then, as we added more clients and employees, we grew even faster. Our growth landed us on Inc. magazine's list of the fastest growing privately held companies 3 years in a row. So what's my point? I hear conversations and see on the news folks complaining about a lack of opportunity or the wrong job, comments about entitlements, frustration at low wages, here, now, while there are signs looking to hire nearly everywhere you look. I was a Cub Scout and later a Scout leader as an adult. The Scout motto is, be prepared. That made sense to me. It meant owning your moment, taking responsibility, doing the right thing at the right moment. And the rest of this is on page 4. You know, being ready to do your duty. It still makes sense to me. In business, successful teams solve problems and do the right thing. Our team provides solutions at a unit. We know just about every challenge a client will encounter. Folks are struggling with something and they need a solution. When we first meet with them, they come to us because we are prepared and we want to help. And it continues to be our privilege to help. I still believe this is a place of opportunity. Well, where else can on our little planet can you start from meager beginnings and grow into the company servicing thousands upon thousands of nice people in just about every state in our country? The land of the free. There is so much to be grateful for here. That's just my 2 cents. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and thank you for the privilege of allowing us to contribute something positive to your life, even if it's in some small way. Thank you, David. That was a wonderful article. Okay, and on the front page we have the other article by David Edge. Thanks and pass the gravy. As we come to this time of year, we have certainly had our fair share of troubling times and tribulations these past several months. But it's also a time to be thankful for what's good and great in our lives. Is your family in good health? Do you have running water and flushing toilets? Have clothes to wear and shoes on your feet? Are you eating regularly and maybe even gained a little bit of weight? Were they birthday parties or family get-togethers where you could actually see and touch loved ones? Be thankful. While you may be okay, there are friends and neighbors who might need a helping hand this time of year. Maybe it's an elderly person who would just love a simple visit from you to brighten their day. Many of these folks just want something for free. Your time. They want to interact and be with someone who puts a smile or a spark in their lives. At this time of year, be generous with your time to someone who would love a visit. Americans have long been known for their generosity, so let's all work together to keep that positive attitude going. Wishing you and yours a truly happy Thanksgiving. Now pass the gravy. Okay. On the next article, we have our safety article of the month by Sharon Groves. Chia Seeds. The ancient Aztec and Mayans used chia seeds as a main portion of their diets. They are a concentrated source of protein and very rich in fiber and look very much like black pepper granules. Chia seed help to keep the body feeling full and energized for hours. So, how do you use them? You can sprinkle them into salads, cereal, oatmeal, soups, puddings, etc. They are tasteless or mild and nutty. But when added to a liquid, chia seeds expand somewhat into a gel. I personally have started adding them to all types of food. Here are some of the benefits. May stimulate weight loss, mainly because they are high in fiber and make the stomach expand and feel fuller. The high protein content also helps control appetite. It promotes healthy digestion. 11 of the 12 grams of carbs are fiber, and fiber does not raise blood sugar or require insulin. Helps manage blood sugar levels. A high sugar diet or even simple carbs can raise blood sugar levels. And there's lots more. As always, we suggest you talk to your doctor about the advantages of chia seeds. Well, thank you, Sharon. I had no idea about that. That's something kind of fun and new. Okay, and on the next article is Why Am I Me? By David Edge. Thankful for parents. There are many things I'm personally thankful for, and in particular a caring parent who raised 3 rambunctious boys into good, caring adults. Our mom was a single parent, and back in the 50s and 60s, there was a certain stigma to being a one-parent household in the South. But looking back, I think she did a fantastic job of keeping us out of trouble. She worked full-time and still ran the household with determination. She taught all 3 of us how to cook, clean, make a bed, run a washing machine and a dryer, and to cook and make minor repairs to our clothing. For example, if you got a hole in your sock in our house, you got the sewing basket and fixed it yourself. Come on, what are you waiting for? Get busy, she would often push. When I was in college, I was amazed at how many of my university classmates didn't even know how to boil an egg, much less cook a dinner, shop for groceries, wash clothes, or accomplish simple mending chores. I didn't know how good of a life coach I had while I was growing up. Mom supported our interest in the school band, baseball, little league teams, and more. If the church doors were open for a service, we were there. Our mom kept us so busy, there simply wasn't any time to get into trouble. Later as teens, we all had part-time jobs to earn spending money. I recently had a phone call with one of my old high school chums and learned about some misfortune of another family with 3 boys in our old neighborhood. Unfortunately, the news was not good. All 3 had fallen in with the bad kids, and none of them were alive today. I recognized my thankfulness at that moment. Our mom, who cared enough to make sure that we would turn out to be good men, and for that I am truly thankful. Things you are thankful for are what make you, you. Okay, our next article is by Mark Fry, and it's our monthly financial tip. Okay, this month I address an issue that is most likely going to get worse next year. I'm talking about capital gains tax. House Democrats proposed a top federal rate of 25% on long-term capital gains by the House Ways and Means Committee. This maximum rate would be 28.8% when combined with a 3.8% surtax on net investment income. In 2022, it would kick in for single filers with taxable incomes over $400,000 and for married couples at $450,000, according to a committee aide. Now, I understand that this will affect a relatively small number of our clients, but with that said, it will affect some of you a lot. This article is aimed at helping those of you that have highly appreciated assets and would like to sell said asset, but feel that the capital gains tax would be prohibitive and eat up your gains. However, there is a possible solution. The solution, a charitable remainder trust, CRT, or unitrust, also called a CRUT, is a gift of cash or other property to an irrevocable trust. The donor receives an income stream from the trust for a term of years or for life, and the named charity receives the remaining trust assets at the end of the trust term. But wait, that's not all. It gets a bit complex, but I'll simplify it as best as I can. Let's assume the asset is a building. You bought the building several years ago for $1 million. Now it's worth $5 million. You create a CRUT and gift your building to that CRUT. You get a monster tax credit that you can use for 1 plus an additional 5 years depending on when you need it. The CRUT then sells the building. Guess who's exempt from the capital gains tax? Yep, the charitable trust. You then get to take income from the trust for the rest of your life and your spouse's life. When you die, the charities you named in the CRUT will receive the remainder of the assets in the trust. You can even create your own trust foundation and make your kids the trustees. They would then oversee doling out the remainder to the charities of their choice. This can go on for decades after you pass, and the kids can take a fee for being the trustees. Let's talk about the kids. You scored. The IRS lost, using their own rules, but the kids may also have lost. So to make the kids whole, you can take a fraction of the income from the trust over the first 7 years and buy a last-to-die life insurance policy to replace the $5 million. We would create another trust called an irrevocable life trust to buy the life policy. We do that to keep the death benefit and the cash value outside of your estate for estate purposes because, let's face it, that will probably get worse too. So if this scenario fits you and your stock, real estate, precious metals, or any other highly appreciated asset, we're here to help. This is not something that most advisors out there know about or the experts are experts at doing. We have worked with outside counsel uniquely versed in these strategies, and I have had experience creating these arrangements over the years. Before I joined American Retirement Advisors, companies like Wells Fargo Private Client Services and Morgan Stanley would call on me to build these plans for their clients. I was the resident expert for the Hartford and on loan to all the major firms in Las Vegas. I'm here to help. Thanks, Mark. That was a great article and very educational. That's terrific. That's some real solutions for you folks with appreciated capital assets. Okay, our next article is Medicare at Work. Making Medicare Guidance and Transition 1, 2, 3 Easy at Work by Laura Lee Drummond. November is a busy month for bees. They are busy getting ready for winter, collecting nectar to maintain the hive throughout the winter. Unfortunately, sources for nectar are pretty scarce, so they're getting, well, a bit crazy desperately searching for that last bit of substance to store. We are all abuzz at the office too, for a different autumn reason. We are busy helping our clients during the Medicare annual election period. We are again grateful for the opportunity to review your current plans and provide recommendations for your Medicare coverage next year. This review is essential for anyone on Medicare to ensure their coverage continues to complement their needs. Your needs change, and Medicare Advantage and drug plans can change too. If there's a friend over 65 at work, or a family member, or perhaps a neighbor who would benefit from a competent Medicare plan review, folks are not stuck with the plans they chose years ago. If we can provide any guidance to you, your employees, or a family member, and help them navigate choices for the coming year, we're here just a click or a call. If you know of a company that would like to have a trusted team member to refer to for Medicare answers rather than just a government website for transition support, let us know who to contact or pass our information along to them. Making Medicare at Work 1, 2, 3 Easy. Well, thank you, Laura Lee. That was a nice article, too. Okay. Oh, one of my favorite articles, The Medicare Moment by Tammy Semler. Free, free, free. This is free. That is free. Everything is free. Or is it? This time of year, you're being bombarded with Medicare TV commercials, phone calls, and mailers touting the free things you can receive if you call this 800 number and switch to plan ABC. Or was it plan DEF or maybe even XYZ? They all say that you get free stuff. Is it true? Well, sort of, but there's always catches. Remember, advertisements are designed to get you to take action, to call the number and to get a sales agent who would try to convince you that their plan is the best thing since sliced bread. But is it? Free hearing aids, dental, and coverage for eyeglasses, etc. Details are hidden in the advertisement. For example, you will probably have to get your hearing aids from their provider and pick from their available selection. Also, they may only give you $1,250 per year for hearing aids, and their provider may charge a $2,500 per hearing aid. You may have to go to an in-network dentist or to take advantage of the dental benefit. And most plans set limits on how much dental they will pay for each year, and anything over that, it's your responsibility. Sometimes you still have certain costs under the dental plan, like 20 to 70% co-insurance for various services. Those eyeglasses are at no cost if you use one of their providers, and the price doesn't exceed their limitations. If the limit's $200 and the glasses cost $400, you pay the difference. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that these benefits aren't valuable. Just don't be swayed by the freebies offered. Does the plan also have your doctors and hospitals? Is your medication covered well? And what are the co-payments for inpatient hospital stays, outpatient procedures, and diagnostic testing? What's the most you're responsible to pay in a calendar year for hospital and medical expenses? American Retirement Advisors can show you any plan you're interested in, and we will research them to see if they will work for your situations. Agents on the end of that 800 number work for one company. Our advisors work for you and represent you with all the companies. So if you want to look at another plan you hear about, let us know and we're happy to help. The annual enrollment period ends on December 7th, so don't delay. Call us today, 602-281-3898. Well, thank you. That was great, Tammy. And be careful about all that free stuff. Free might not be what you think it is. Okay, that brings us to our last article of the month, and that's the success story of the month by David Edge. Stan and Jackie have been clients for 5 years and read the American Retirement Advisor newsletter each month to keep abreast of the changes in Medicare and financial and safety tips highlighted each month. For example, last month's newsletter reminded them about Medicare's annual election period, AEP, that happens each year. Jackie was perusing the latest edition and calmly asked Stan that if he had replied to the emails we send out to each client this time of year to get updated prescription list. In addition, we do research based on your answers to ensure each client is on the most appropriate drug plan for the coming year, because plans change every year, even if your needs don't. Stan said absent-mindedly. I don't remember. What does it matter anyway, since we both only take a few generic medications? I'm sure we're fine for next year. Jackie responded, I remember when we met with David and he said it was important to check our plan every year, so I'd feel better if we sent our list and completed the reply. I'll grab our medications to help. Stan completed his response, and then Jackie sent hers and awaited a recommendation in the days to follow. The couple was pleasantly surprised by the research response they received. Holy crap, he explained. David's research team just answered our email, and we need to schedule an appointment as soon as possible, as the premium for our Part D prescription drug plan we're on is going to increase from $14 a month to $56 a month. How much? Jackie couldn't believe her ears. They made phone appointments to review their options for 2022 Part D drug plan changes, and were again surprised to learn that just by shopping plans, they were going to save close to $1,000 next year. Hurry. If you haven't already, be sure to respond to our AEP email sent last month so we can help you avoid surprises in 2022. Didn't get our email? Call us. We can help. 602-281-3898. Well, that's the end of this month's newsletter, folks. I hope you enjoyed the reading. And remember, you can call for a free subscription. You can get it electronically, or you can get a nice hard copy in the mail. So it's nice to see you. Have a happy Thanksgiving.